In the hope of having a family, Australian couple Marinda and Cameron Forster tried in vitro fertilization. It was expensive and emotionally draining. After 7 IVF treatments failed, they decided to opt for egg donation to increase their chances of success. But the process was far from straightforward.
So in Australia, you either have to know somebody, maybe a family, friend, or you go onto a very long waiting list. So potentially you could be looking at years.
They looked abroad for options, and 2 years ago they travelled from their hometown of Brisbane across the Pacific Ocean to Argentina.
From the time that we decided that, yes, this is what we wanted to do, and to actually getting here, approximately 3 months, yeah.
Their treatment in Buenos Aires 2 years ago was successful. This May, they returned to Argentina, along with their daughter Eliana, hoping for a second child. Marinda and Cameron are just one of many couples travelling to Argentina for treatment. In Dr. Demian Gluchowski's office, photos of the success stories. He's increasingly treating couples from abroad, offering pricing well below what IVF can cost elsewhere. In the United States, it can top $30,000 per cycle. At Gluchowski's clinic, a single cycle may cost less than $7,000.
In Argentina, due to several things that happen here, costs are lower than in a lot of countries. We have the combination of low cost and high success rates. Our rates are at the same level as the average in the United States or some higher, and if you compare to those reports in Europe and Latin America, we also are above that.
Gluchowski says his success rate is over 60%, and this country is something of a pioneer in reproductive rights. Nearly 3 years ago, Argentina approved a law which subsidizes in vitro fertilization for its citizens. Rights groups here in Argentina, which campaigned for that law, estimate that 1 in 6 couples are affected by infertility. This group campaigned Congress for the assisted fertilization law in 2013 and continues to raise awareness about an issue that is still considered taboo by many.
It can happen to anyone. It is very common. 30% of cases are complications with the woman, 30% with men, and 40% are a shared problem. It is more common than is thought, but usually it is only the woman who is talked about as having a complication.
Despite the law in Argentina, many provinces have not adhered to the legislation, and treatment is not freely available. Money is one of the main obstacles to full implementation.
We have few labs and few hospitals with facilities for perform IVF. We have problems with the medical insurances. They try to block or to avoid the coverage of this kind of treatment.
The debate over IVF procedure and cost will continue. Legislation varies greatly around the world, but for many couples, regardless of how it is funded, IVF remains their best chance for having a family. Joel Richards, CCTV, Buenos Aires.